Hi guys, I'm Adam, and today I'll be going over the intuition behind demand-side policies and supply-side policies. You probably have seen two different diagrams in your textbook or online or whatever. So they actually represent different groups of thoughts of economies. So one is actually represented by Keynesian economists who believe in demand-side policies, and the second group is Neoclassical economists who actually believe in supply-side policies. So let's dive straight into the difference between these two. As you can notice actually in the diagram, the main difference is actually a straight line portion and a rising portion in the demand side policies or the Keynesian economist view of the economy, while the neoclassical economists believe in a straight vertical line with no spare capacity in the beginning part. So let's dive straight into this. So let's first look at the Keynesian economists. So Keynesian economists actually believes in consumers. So they believe that by changing monetary policies and fiscal policies, they can actually stimulate or actually reduce consumer demand. So what they are doing is essentially increasing or decreasing interest rate, increasing taxation, increasing income tax, or reducing income tax. So in the diagram, you can see that the green line is an aggregate demand curve, and the blue line is also an aggregate demand curve. So what the Keynesian economists believe is that actually they can reduce the interest rate, and that will stimulate the aggregate demand to shift the aggregate demand from this green curve to this blue curve, which would in terms help to increase the total GDP or output from Y star, which is an initial point, to Y1. So also you can notice that the unemployment rate is reduced in this part as well, because the Keynesian economists believe that increasing output actually means a reduction of unemployment rate as well. So that's basically what they believe. And in addition, the Keynesian economists are actually very popular after the World War I and World War II, is mainly because of their effort to try to increase government intervention. And they believe that government intervention is beneficial for the economy in terms of like regulating those fiscal policies, monetary policies, and in terms of adjusting the demand in the economy. And however, during the 1970s, actually there is a collapse in the whole global economy. That is mainly because of stagflation, and Keynesian economists are unable to fight against stagflation, which is the simultaneous increase in inflation rate and unemployment rate. They cannot deal with it. So the neoliberals, originally formed in the 1940s, and which is represented by Frederick Hayek and Milton Friedman from University of Chicago. So they actually believe in neoliberalism, which has some sort of parallel with neoclassical model developed by Adam Smith. So here we are talking about some of the parallels between these two groups of thoughts. So they jumped in. They began criticizing the Keynesian economists and saying that the reason that economies is not working and they are not able to fight back on stagflation is because their model is inherently wrong. So they use this opportunity to gain influence in the whole global economy and proposed or introduced this model to the whole groups of politicians. And after that, in 1980s, Reagan's administration and Thatcher's administration adopted the neoliberal policies, which is actually supply side policies. So what they actually believe that we should reduce government intervention by deregulation and reduction of corporate tax, and also like reducing trade union power. So So notice that they are actually helping the suppliers instead of concerning with the consumers. So the neoclassical or the neoliberal thoughts in this case is actually trying to help the suppliers to increase output. What they believe is that any increase in aggregate demand in this diagram will only be inflationary, or any decrease in aggregate demand will be deflationary, meaning that it will only affect the price without actually changing the output. Because like if I shift the aggregate demand curve to the green line, for the original long-run aggregate supply curve, it will just stay at the original output without changing anything. So what they are saying is that on any demand side management policies will not work, because that is the correct model that we propose, which will illustrate the economy the best. So they are helping the firms, reducing tax. Notice that there is one policy which is not exactly reducing government intervention, is subsidizing the firm, but it still counts towards the supply side policy because it's helping the firms, like subsidizing those agricultural companies, agricultural industries to actually increase output. So their policy are somewhat successful but also problematic. As you will see after the 1990s, there are problems with that as well. But no economic model is perfect, so we should both learn these two models and clearly distinguish between these two models. Hope you guys enjoy it. If you guys enjoy it, please hit subscribe, and thank you very much. See you next time.